Max and Cecily and my parents. So they, my father came in '66 as a Didiman, setting up the oil palm. So places like Nahavio, he was the first one there to clear that area, things like that. And then this plantation came up in '69. He bought it in '69. My mother came in '72. So all Bungluya, and then they stayed here, married here, bought this plantation, and then so their primary, because she was a Didi Mary as well, so she used to go around all the blocks in remote areas looking at food crops, food gardens. And then the hobby was diving. So they just did that for things to do on the weekend. And so they started going out, they learned to dive, they started going out, and then they went for a dive holiday to the Red Sea, which is in Egypt. So back then that was the best place in the world for diving. But when they got there, they realized, hang on a minute, this Kimbe Bay is actually much better what they were seeing and what they had seen. And they started to realize, okay, it's special here. And then what happened was they used to get, because he had a compressor, people used to call up saying, hey, can we come diving here? But yeah, come stay with me. So that's how it all started, and that's how it all developed. So we just started with 2 rooms, 2 bungalows, and just over the years, so 83 officially as a result. And then they started to develop. Tourist numbers, I mean, it varies. Some years it's higher, some years it's lower. It's seasonal, it's based on a few things. So usually maybe around 1,000 divers a year, which is actually quite low. For tourism, it's very low in PNG. There's not a big number of tourists who come to PNG, so that's why we're working hard to trying to promote it and trying to get more people here. But there's a lot of constraints with things like that make it a bit harder to operate. But majority of the tourists come from Australia, about 25%, because it's so close, and you see them all come back and forward. And there's good connections, daily connections each day from Australia. The next market is Japan, because there was a direct flight from Tokyo to Moresby. So having that direct connection helps with encouraging divers to come here. So they're the 2 main markets, and then it's followed up by split evenly with Americans, Europeans, and within PNG as well. Their interest was scuba diving. So that's how they went out there, their friends started to come, and then more and more people started to come. So that's how it all started. It was all by accident, it wasn't just, okay, we want to do a resort here. Just slowly, as I said, they just built 2 rooms, and then each, over the years, since '83, just add, one bit by bit. So the biggest thing we've been able to do is the international recognition. We're just a small 20-room resort in Talasia, and we've got worldwide fame. And the biggest achievement too is being able to operate for so long. Since '83, many resorts come and go. And the biggest thing is that international fame, and that all comes down to the marketing we do. So people don't just come here for nothing. We've been able to promote the province, we've been able to promote the area, Kimbe Bay, and one of the other biggest achievements was, setting up Mahoney and Adari. So that was also set up by Max and Cecily. About youth education, conservation. But not only that, by having that centre there, we've been able to partner with James Cook University in Australia. So they've been sending up for years and years now researchers to come and confirm, okay, yes, Kimbe Bay is special, there's lots of species here, and that hopefully can feed into information for protection. So we've done lots of use out of here. The other thing that's becoming quite big for us now is our second biggest market is birdwatching. So again, New Britain has the main attraction for birdwatchers to come to Papua New Guinea is the birds of paradise. So they come to PNG, they travel around the mainland looking at all the birds of paradise. And then what they do is then they can come out here, because we don't have birds of paradise, but there are other special species, birds that are only found here on New Britain. So these bird watchers, if they want to see as many birds as they can, they often will fly out, stay with us, and we'll take them on sites around the place. But you know, the fact that I think Pops has been here for so long, I think, you know, we've been here, we're established now, we've been here for a long time. That helps with, you know, talking to communities, but generally things have changed. You know, in the early days, I remember, you know, with bird watching, there were some issues where but over the years they've seen, okay, the more tourists we're starting to bring to other areas, they're starting to say, okay, no, enough people come here. So some attitudes are changing, some attitudes are different. But look, but the biggest challenges to operating a business here is the cost of operation. You know, everything in PNG is expensive. So that makes everything expensive. Cost of operation, logistics, infrastructure is a big problem. You know, obviously you could see the roads are a big problem. You know, and then being able to access some of these remote areas for bird watching, you need roads, but they're off the plantation road, so they can get quite damaged. You know, that's affected us by where some of my vehicles now, we've had to really modify them and strengthen them up to be able to go off-road. So that adds to the cost again. All those sorts of things. So, but having Mahonia is very important. You know, what made Walindi and Kimbe Bay famous is the pristine reefs, but population growth is going to be a problem. I think West New Britain has a very high population growth, so that's going to put more pressure on the reefs. So I think the more we can educate people about the importance of protecting their, you know, it's their resources, huh? So the more we can educate people on that, and the importance of maybe LMMAs, you know, leaving some areas protected. So yeah, lots of work, lots of challenges, and lots right now we have up to 70 staff. So again, this is where tourism is really important. Again, we're only a 20-room resort, but we have, we're completely self-reliant. We have our own engineering, we have our own carpenters, we have our own electricians, plumbers, everything. So we do everything ourselves. It's the only way we can survive out there. Yeah, you can't rely on anybody else to come in and fix things for you. So 70 staff. So a small tourism is a what do you call it? It hires a lot of people. You need a lot of people to service the guests. You know, housekeeping, the kitchen, the reception, the girls up here, the dive crew. You know, I have a dedicated all the dive crew. Our big boats here too all have to have crews. So yeah, it employs a lot of people. But not only that, it's the multiplier effect into the surrounding community. The money that we spend in the community on timber, buying timber from the community directly here. The mamas can come and sell their produce, so we buy all the fruits and things like that. The money we spend in the hardwares in town, the stores, yeah. So a lot of things feed into a tourism operation. So there's a lot of things. Just look at the history since '83. You never stop. You never stop improving. If you stop improving and you let things degrade, that's it. You're finished. You know, tourism is built on word of mouth. So they come here and they go, oh, Walindi was amazing. They'll go tell their friends, and that's how it all built up here. They said, hey, go to Walindi. There's beautiful diving there. If you let those things go, then you will fail as a business in tourism. So we're always improving. We're always trying to look, okay, what can we build? What can we do here? So in time, I would like to develop a few more extra, maybe higher, some better standard rooms for, you know, for the higher end market. Tourism in PNG, you don't go for mass tourism. That's not what you want. Here, it's all niche tourism. Wealthier retirees who can afford to travel, you know, can afford the airfares to come to PNG, can afford to stay here. PNG. So with tourism, your marketing, you should be focusing on your niche. So that's your bird watching, your diving, surfing, fishing, trekking, things like that. So we'll keep it going and try and improve things and then get more tourists to come through and develop, little projects with the communities, try and get more, benefits flowing out.
Is there any last